Welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old way, but accept some of the new. We love to cook and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. Amish sour cream cornbread. It's a little bit of the texture of maybe a little bit of cake, but yet cornbread, if that makes any sense. And we're going to be making it today. I've got, now the recipe says to use a 9x5 loaf pan. This one right here is my cast iron bread pan. I'm going to use it because we know cast iron is the best thing to make cornbread out of. But this one actually is about 8.5 by 4.5 from inside to inside, but it'll work. So, but anyways, I just want to let you know that you need to use a 9x5 pan, but this is close enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my back burner on, and just like I would do my iron skillet, I'm going to put my iron bread pan right there on top of that, and I'm going to start heating it up. And I've got about a tablespoon of oil in there, or lard, or grease, whatever you use. So let's start mixing this up. We need, and this is some corn, just regular cornmeal that I buy from the Mennonite store, and it's a yellow kind of coarse cornmeal, which you can use whatever you've got. And it calls for 3/4 of a cup. So that was a half. There's a quarter. And you need a cup of just all-purpose flour. Now I know somebody's going to say, well, can I just go ahead and use self-rising and not put the salt and all that in? Yeah, you can, pretty much. I'm pretty sure it's going to work, so if that's what you have, then use it. So with our 3/4 cup of cornmeal, cup of flour, we're going to put 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we're going to put, where's it at? 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. It wasn't quite a teaspoon. And then a teaspoon of salt. Okay. And I'm just going to mix that up a little bit. Oh, and I got 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now, some people like sweet cornbread and some people don't. I'm making this for some neighbors that are sick. I've made them a big pot of soup over here. And I'm going to put a little bit of sugar in it because I'm not sure if they like sugar in their cornbread or not. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit in there. But the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons. If you don't want any, don't put it in there, or just put your tablespoon, whatever you think you might like. So I'm pretty sure that's all the dry ingredients. Just get that mixed up good. And I've got my oven heating to 400 degrees. You can make this in a regular, just cast iron skillet. This amount you probably want to use, depends on if you like a really thick cornbread or thin one. Me and Mr. Brown like thin cornbread, so probably a 10-inch. Okay, so now we're going to put in, I've got 1 large egg. I've got 1/4 cup of milk. And I've got 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Make sure it's cooled, not still hot. We'll mix that up, and then we're going to put in our sour cream. This is going to make a really moist cornbread too. And I thought I'd just go ahead, because, you know, with the recipe calling that they make it in a bread pan, it is kind of neat to make your cornbread different like that sometimes. You can just cut slices like you would a bread loaf. So it's going to be kind of thick. Let's see how thick it is. Yeah, we have a neighbor, and there's 3 of them in the family that's sick. So we've been taking turns, taking stuff to them to eat. We don't go inside with them or nothing like that. There's one person that takes the food and just drops it off. So now you need a cup of sour cream. You can use low-fat sour cream. You can use low-fat milk in this recipe. This is probably a little more than a cup, but it's not enough in there really for me to save it. So I'm going to put it all in there. Now we're just going to mix this up. And see how it's looking there. So it's starting to loosen up with that sour cream. I'm watching my loaf pan over here. Now you can do that inside the oven. My oven wasn't preheated. Kind of got behind on that, so and a lot of times I do it this way anyways. I do this with my biscuits too. I'll heat up my iron skillet that I'm cooking them in on top of the stove and place my biscuits in there and then stick them in the oven. It makes for that bottom to get kind of brown and crispy. I'm going to try to get around the sides here. And you see how simple that was to put that together. I had somebody email me or message me once not too long ago, and they said, "Miss Lori, we need to make you a t-shirt that says it's about that easy." I didn't realize that I say it. I guess I say it probably just about every video. I just want people to know that cooking is a lot of times it's a act of love, and it's to nourish your family and your body, and don't be intimidated by any of it. I think that's mixed up good. And I'm pretty sure I got everything in there. So I think my bread pan is good and hot. So I need to move this stuff just a little bit. I tell y'all, I'm one of the messiest cooks you'll ever meet in your life. And I've told y'all this before, my mother-in-law is one of the cleanest cooks you'll ever meet. Okay. We're just going to put this in I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a sizzling. There's going to be some good cornbread. Now I'm going to put this, like I said, in a 400-degree oven. And I'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to put my timer on for 30 minutes. We may have to go longer than that because I'll stick a toothpick in it to make sure that it's good and done in the middle. Now, you can up this just a little bit, put you some jalapenos in there if you like, and some cheese. You can put some cheese in there. It's an open canvas. You can just do whatever you like in your cornbread. Okay, I'm going to get this out to the oven, let it cook, and when it gets done, we'll come back and we'll try it. You can see the texture of this cornbread. You see how it, of course, it's still real hot. It needs to cool just a little bit, but it cut really good. No problems. It didn't just fall apart, but it is so moist, and you see how pretty a loaf of cornbread it made. Well, we got busy with life and sat down and ate our supper, and we forgot to turn the camera on. But I'm telling y'all, this is really good cornbread. God bless everybody.